Hello and welcome to a new episode of Workpoint 365 Explorer. My name is Florian Neuhold and I'm working in the product management and marketing department of Workpoint. So today I'm very happy to hear the opinion about Workpoint and the product from a customer perspective. So that's very interesting for us. So welcome and nice to have you here in our show, Daniel Hasslund from Caverion. It's not exactly from Caverion, but with a connection to Caverion.
Thank you, Florian. Nice to be here.
So since July 2021, there is a connection between Caverion and Workpoint, and you are responsible, of course, a little bit. So can you explain why did the company Caverion choose Workpoint or choose a pilot project?
Caverion as a company, we're looking into bigger picture on the enterprise document management program, where we're actually looking in the full context how we're working with documents, but as also we're having a strategy there where we want to work with the Microsoft technology, getting the best use of our licenses and so on. And there we really see that the Workpoint as well helps us to bring up that functionalities that we're having in the Microsoft ecosystems.
Very, very good. So Caverion is running, I think, several projects and at the same time. So what would you say is the biggest problem of maybe companies itself, not directly on Caverion, but maybe the biggest problem, and Workpoint can solve this problem?
Well, I would say that today's with the digitalization that people start going from maybe old file shares, even working with handwritten papers and so on as well, that they start taking use into tools like Teams, SharePoint, the data is going up in the cloud and so on. And once again, there I see Workpoint is helping us to bring that together, putting a usable user interface and as well processes on top of where we're storing and working with the documents.
Okay, very, very good. So if you have to point for what are the key benefits for Caverion or for other companies by using Workpoint?
Well, if we start from my own perspective, which is within the IT and the IT landscape, is that once again, it's no new infrastructure needed, nothing new there. It's actually installed on top of our existing infrastructure. Another aspect that I see in there as well is that we're still having the kind of ownership, we're still having the content in our existing SharePoint environment. And say for another reason, we pick another tool one day and so on, we're still having the structure and the content there. Then from a business perspective, I would say as well that this is working in a familiar user interface where you actually can build in the processes, the step-by-step processes. You're having this kind of templates built in, etc. and so on as well. And doing this without being too complicated to say it.
Yeah, perfect. So let's step a little bit back. You said you're living in the IT world and work as a freelancer as well. So what would you say is the biggest challenge of the businesses from companies? We had the Corona or the COVID-19 time, so we saw there is a change. What do you say for the future would be a big, massive step for companies?
Well, if we look into where companies is today or before COVID, was that at least in companies like Caverion, it's a lot of traditional how we're working, even down with the paper. Not everyone even have an IT account. Now with the COVID, of course, that digitalization came very, very quickly. So now actually everyone is having an account. Then is the next step. Then how are we working then with the information and the data that we're how to bring it together?
And I hope Workpoint can help in this way. So how important, you say that it will be very, very important, but how important could be the digital transformation? There are still companies working with, like you say, the paper and the pencil. So what would you say, or how would you say, how important will be the digital transformation in the future as well?
I would say it's a must, otherwise you will not be able to survive as a company. And just take it from a legal requirement. I think as well it will go. Before you had to store all the documents and so on on paper trail, but I would say that all of those kind of things most likely will go digitalized in the future. And there as well, it's very important that you're then tagging the data, you're able to find it later and so on as well. And there I see tools like Workpoint as well, is where you can manage, categorize the data and documents and able to find those and work with those in the future.
Perfect. Perfect. Then thank you very much, Daniel, for your time, for this interview. It was very, very interesting. And of course, for your time, that's the most important.
All right.
It was nice to speak with you. Again, we arrived at the end of an episode of Workpoint 365 Explore. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you the next time. Have a nice day and bye.